We've been exploring the Canadian Rockies for a little over a week now, and our adventures have brought us to the heart of the Canadian Rockies, where rugged wilderness meets mountain town vibes, Canmore, Alberta. In the 1880s, Canmore was known as a mining town and remained that way throughout most of the 20th century, and it wasn't until recent years that it's become a tourist destination. Canmore is a hidden gem in nature's playground where epic hiking trails, pristine lakes, and a vibrant art scene meets. We're excited for our time here as we make our way to the lower 48.
There's no better way to start the day than with some coffee, and we passed this cute coffee shop called Blondies Cafe, and we knew we had to stop here and get some caffeine in us before starting our adventures for the day. I'm not sure what happened to the audio, but it went a little bit wacky, so I'm just going to do a little voiceover. I was basically just saying that when we walked into the cafe, we were planning on getting an acai bowl, and then we saw all the sandwiches that they had, and we decided to get a chicken Italian sandwich, which was absolutely delicious, and we loved enjoying it. With all of the beautiful views, there are so many mountains around us, and it's just absolutely stunning.
Now that we're caffeinated, we're starting our day off with the Grassi Lakes hike. It's a 3.7 kilometer hike. That's one of the most popular in the area, and there's a lot of bear and area signs. I guess they all kind of hang out in the Bow Valley Provincial Park area. So hopefully we see one from afar and not too close or not at all.
This trail has just over 500 feet of elevation, which starts off right from the beginning. You incline all the way up and you get beautiful views of Canmore, and once you're at the top, you get to see the Grassi Lakes.
We made it up to the first Grassi Lake, and the second one is right over there, and while there are people here, it is still so beautiful to enjoy, and it's nowhere near as busy as Banff or the other parks. What sets these lakes apart from others in the area is their blue-green color. So the blue is actually glacier silt, so when glaciers melt, they leave behind like this sand, and when the sun reflects off of it, it creates this blue effect, and the green is algae in the water that's creating a thriving ecosystem for insects that live here, and not only is this thriving for the insects, but it's so beautiful to look at. The second Grassi Lake is literally a 2-second walk from the first one, which is right over there, and this one is a lot more green blue than that one because it's in an open area, so you have a lot more direct sunlight or light to it, and I just love how still it is. You can see the fall colors behind, and then also back here somewhere you can go up to get a better view, and that's what we're gonna do.
Coming up these steps is definitely worth it to be able to get a little bit better view of the lake and the mountains, but the trees are kind of in the way of the lake a little bit, so you can't see it clearly, and because the sun is reflecting, you can't see the blue-green color as much, but it still is beautiful with the surrounding mountains. And there are people rock climbing, which looks like so much fun. I would love to be able to climb up one of these walls and get a better view of the lake and the mountains. It just seems like the perfect place to do that. So maybe when we get a little bit more experience in climbing one day, we'll come back and do that. The way back down is a little bit slick and it has a lot of rocks and roots, but it's not too steep, it's not too bad, and you get to see these beautiful views of the waterfall as well as that other lake that you could see better from up there. But now it's down here, so the views the whole way down are stunning, and then of course you still have the surrounding mountains to look at as well. The trail was great, but just a couple of things to note. Just like any other trail, the earlier the better. It was super crowded and is still super crowded, and I'm guessing it will be the rest of the day, so we would have liked to have gotten here earlier. And the second thing is there is a Kananaskis conservation pass that you do need in order to do this trail. It's about $15 a day, and it gives you access to this area as well as a few others in the area.
We drove back into town to do the Bow River Loop. It's an easy 2-kilometer trail and it takes you over the Canmore Engine Bridge. This iron railway bridge was built by the Canadian Pacific Railway in the 1890s to connect the coal mines on the west side of the Bow River to the rest of the railway system, and now it just plays an important role in Canmore's trail network.
This old rusty bridge against the beautiful fall trees and mountains is so picturesque. Everyone is just coming and standing on this bridge and taking pictures and looking around because it's really, really pretty. We're making our way towards a very popular and beautiful place to watch the sunset, but not without first getting a snack at Beaver Tails. If it's your first time getting a beaver tail, you're supposed to ring the bell, so let's do it. So what is a beaver tail? A beaver tail is a pastry, and it was started in 1978 at a carnival, and from there it took off, and now it is a chain restaurant, and we decided to get 2 different beaver tails. So one is poutine, it looks so good, and then our other one is like triple trip, and it's basically Nutella and it's Reese's Pieces and peanut butter. So we figured one sweet, one savory, can't go wrong. I'm not sure if this is the right way to eat it, but I just broke off a piece of the beaver tail and got all the toppings. So poutine is fries, cheese curds, and gravy. We've only had it one other time, so I'm super excited to try it, and especially this way. It pretty much tastes exactly like poutine on a piece of bread. It's super interesting, but also very delicious. And now we're ready for something sweet, and we can't wait to try this one. The texture of the tail kind of reminds me of like a funnel cake, but the actual dough itself isn't sweet. The topping on top is what's sweet, and it's just a great combination.
The beaver tails were so good. I definitely preferred the sweeter one over the savory one, only because I'm not sure how many people get the savory one or how fresh the poutine was, but the sweet one was a 10 out of 10, and the poutine would be more like a 7.5 out of 10. But you cannot beat Beaver Tails with these views. The city of Canmore is surrounded by mountains, so either way, a 7 out of 10 turns into an 8 or 9 out of 10 solely because of the views. I love how in Canmore the city and the nature are so close to each other, and so we're ending our night at the Three Sisters viewpoint, and to get there you have to walk under the road, which is what we're doing right now, and it's pretty dark, and I can actually see in front of us we're going to be walking under the railroad as well. And fingers crossed we get a decent sunset, because here in Canmore it's kind of known that the sunsets aren't the best because of the elevation and the mountains around, and it draws clouds in. And so we just pulled up and there weren't many clouds, and then we got all set up, and then clouds were rolling in before we knew it. And so here we are going under the railroad. Don't want to hit my head, but it's just so cool that you're walking through a riverbed about 1 kilometer, and then you should have a beautiful view of the Three Sisters. I'm hoping for it. I'm really hoping for it this time.
Right behind me is the Three Sisters Mountains. You can't really see it because it's covered in clouds. We're hoping as time goes on that we'll be able to see them and that the clouds will move on, but it's not looking like that's going to happen.
Unfortunately, we didn't get the sunset that we wanted, but we did watch the clouds, and it was so awesome to see them rolling over the top of the mountains. Such a cool sight to see, and we watched them until the rain kicked us out. Canmore is such a cool spot and a hidden gem in the Canadian Rockies, and we have so much that we want to do here, but it's going to have to be next time we come back because we have to keep making our way south towards the lower 48, and of course we have some stops along the way. So if you like our videos, make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to follow along as we head south and beyond.